Welcome to the Discovery page. You're going to learn more about the opportunity on this page, and note that the video below is locked until you go through this video. I think it's important that you and I are on the same page. This is a little unscripted and you are actually inside of my home. But I want you to know that I'm real. I want you to know from me that this business is real. And I want you to hear me out when I say that some of the decisions I made when I was younger is what helped me change my future. You see, Napoleon Hill wrote, "As a man thinketh, so he becomes." That's the author of Think and Grow Rich. And I can tell you that your actions have got you to where you are right now. And if you are happy with where you are right now, then I'm happy for you. But if you want to make a change and change your actions, you have to change the way you think, and you have to make sure that you don't have what is called broke thinking. Change is a beautiful thing. Making no decision is a decision, so it's time to hear your option and decide now. Option number one is work a job, and I believe we both agree that working a job is not the answer. This will not make you free. Option number two is become a professional. This will take a lot of time, energy, and money, and if this is for you and this makes you happy, then I'm happy for you. However, you still trade your time for money, so this is still a time trap, and you will never be free. Option number three is to have your own business. Leveraging a business, a traditional business, is great, but it still limits you to a single location, limiting your income. You see, if it be a franchise, there's a big expense, and if there is no franchise, there is no help, and you have the employee nightmare, no matter which you choose. You see, location has limits and time has limits. We only have 24 hours in each day, and how you use that time is critical. You see, the first 8 hours of the day is for sleep, and there's nothing that you or I can do about that, so that's already a given. The other 8 hours is for work, and for right now, the beauty of what we're discussing is you don't have to touch that. You can leave that alone. But the last 8 hours is where you can have an escape strategy, and you can use this time to have a plan B, so that way you can find your freedom. But what if there is a solution? What if you can have the benefits of a franchise? What if you don't have to work with the employees? What if you're not limited to the location? And the best part is that it's automated and works 24 hours a day for you. Don't take my word for it. I want you to see it in action. You're going to see it on the next video, but for now, I want you to hear a message from Robert Kiyosaki.
Welcome to Robert Kiyosaki's The Business of the 21st Century. Robert Kiyosaki is recognized internationally as one of today's leading financial experts. The author of the best-selling Rich Dad, Poor Dad, his books have been translated into 51 languages in 109 countries and sold more than 28 million copies worldwide. Robert has spent his life educating people on how to attain financial freedom.
Next thing I want to cover with you is one of the most important lessons my rich dad gave me, and it was called the cash flow quadrant. And what my rich dad explained to me is that there's 4 people in business. One are E's, employees. S stands for small business, self-employed, or specialist. B stands for big business, and I stands for investor. And the thing of note here is that most people who go to school are programmed for the E and the S side. For example, it was my poor dad who always said to me, "Son, go to school so you can get a nice, safe, secure job." And so my poor dad wanted me to be an employee. And since the time I was a kid, get a safe, secure job, steady paycheck, and benefits. Okay? I didn't want to be an employee. And I said, Mom and Dad, I want to be a rich man. And I fight with my dad. So my mother finally said, "Son, if you want to be rich," my mother was a registered nurse. And she said, "If you want to be rich, the richest people I know are doctors." So my mom wanted me to come over here, be a specialist or a small business person. I said, "There's only one problem with that, Mom. Doctors are really smart." And she says, "You got a good point there. I'm not going to be a doctor." So I went to school. I have a Bachelor of Science degree. I can drive ships and I can fly planes. I flew for the Marine Corps. But that I've never used any of that education because I wanted to become a business owner. So it was my rich dad who basically said to me, become a business owner and learn to be a professional investor. So one of the big differences here between these people is that it's called taxes. See, in 1943, in the U.S., the federal government passed a law that said employees had to pay tax before they got paid. So when you get your paycheck from your employer, you open it up, and voila, the government's always taken a sizable chunk of it. And the harder you work and the more money you make, the more money they take from you. So that's why it's not that good to be an employee, because you can never get ahead, because the more you work, more money you make, the greater they pay in taxes. Now, the doctors and lawyers and attorneys, accountants were all laughing, saying, oh, these guys, they're getting paying a lot of taxes. So naturally, the federal government changed the laws again. So in 1986 in the U.S., a thing called the 86 Tax Reform Act, and it basically took a lot of the benefits away from people who are self-employed, small business, doctors, and lawyers. So today in America, unfortunately, these guys pay the highest percentage in taxes. It is tragic. And a lot of people think they're investors, but what they're really doing is they're just giving their money to people like mutual funds, companies, and all that. So they're investing, but they're not really investors. See, the big tax breaks are on this side. The laws are pretty tight here, but this area is very, very gray. So by being a business owner on the right-hand side of the quadrant, you can make a lot more money and pay a smaller percentage of taxes legally. And the key word is legally. In the investor quadrant, it is possible to make millions of dollars and pay 0% taxes legally. But you've got to know the difference. So one of the beauties of business for the 21st century is it allows people to make the transition from the E and the S side to the B side especially. And so you can become a big business owner. And the difference between an S and a B, small business and big business, is most of these guys can't quit working. Most small business owners, if they stop working for more than a month, the business collapses. They don't really have a business. Most of these people own a job. So the beauty of business for the 21st century, it allows these people to make the transition to the B side so that you don't have to keep working hard for money, and the money can actually come in passively. Then once you have your business up and running, then I always recommend you then begin investing with your excess cash, paying less and less in taxes. And that's the reason the rich are getting richer.
So let's talk about the business of choice. We have chose the hottest, most profitable segment of the industry, something the Wall Street Journal has said is one of the biggest trends over the next 3 years. Your timing is truly impeccable, and our system will actually find the leads and sort them, finding the hot leads. What's really cool about that is they're ready to go. Then we provide those people with the exact same system, the one that you are viewing right now. It works. The proof is that you are watching this video right now. And if this makes sense to you, doesn't it stand to reason that it will make sense to others as well? Again, we have chosen an opportunity that is very simple and easy to plug into, one that you will make money immediately out of the gate. Please watch the next video for the business presentation and then join the free waiting list. Below is the next video. It is now unlocked. Please watch the next video now.